Stephen, thank you. This evening, thousands of boxing fans and Houstonians are remembering the life of legendary boxer George Foreman. His family announced his death on social media last night. They say he peacefully departed surrounded by loved ones and did not give further details on the cause of death. Now, Forman was born in East Texas in the city of Marshall.
Have you ever heard of someone who became a champion, lost everything, and then came back stronger than ever? Well, George Foreman was one of those rare people. He wasn't just a boxing champion. He was a symbol of hope, strength, and resilience. Today, we remember the life, achievements, and lasting impact of one of the sport's greatest champions. George Foreman's story begins in Marshall, Texas on January 10, 1949. Growing up wasn't easy for George. He was raised in the segregated South by a single mother alongside his 6 siblings. Life was tough, and at one point, he even turned to street robberies to survive. But things changed when he found boxing. This was the moment George found his true calling. He joined a boxing gym and began training hard. His natural talent in the ring quickly became obvious. At just 19 years old, George made his mark on the world by winning the gold medal in boxing at the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. This victory put him on the map and started his journey to becoming one of the greatest boxers of all time. Foreman's rise to fame wasn't just about his Olympic gold medal. After winning in Mexico, George turned professional and started winning fight after fight. He was powerful, strong, and unstoppable in the ring. People began to notice his raw strength, and soon he was challenging the world's top fighters. In 1973, George fought Joe Frazier, the reigning heavyweight champion, in Kingston, Jamaica. This fight was a huge deal because Frazier was undefeated, and many people thought he would keep that title. But George was on a mission. He knocked Frazier down 6 times in just the first 2 rounds, winning the fight and claiming the heavyweight title. But it wasn't just winning that made George famous. It was his sheer power. His punches were like wrecking balls. ESPN even dubbed them the wrecking ball fists. George was a man who could knock his opponents out in just a few seconds. His popularity skyrocketed, and soon everyone was talking about him. George Foreman didn't just stop at boxing. He went on to do things that most athletes only dream of. After his first loss to Muhammad Ali in the famous Rumble in the Jungle in 1974, George retired from boxing in 1977. But that wasn't the end of his journey. He found a new calling, this time in preaching. George became a devout minister and founded his own church in Texas. His faith gave him a sense of peace and purpose that he carried throughout his life. In the 1980s, George came out of retirement. At 45 years old, he fought again and achieved something no one expected. He became the oldest heavyweight champion in history by defeating Michael Moorer in 1994. It was a historic moment, and the world couldn't believe it. George was 45, and yet he was still the champ. But George didn't stop there. He became the face of a kitchen product that would make him even more famous than his boxing career ever did. The George Foreman Grill. Introduced in 1994, the grill became a huge success, selling over 100 million units worldwide. George's catchphrase, "Lean, mean grilling machine," became a household slogan, and suddenly he was not just a boxing champ, but also a famous businessman. After living a long and impactful life, George Foreman passed away at the age of 76. His death left fans, celebrities, and the entire world in shock. Many tributes poured in from his friends, family, and fellow athletes. His family shared a heartfelt message, calling George a devout preacher, loving father, proud grandfather, and a man who lived with faith and humility. Although he passed away, George's legacy will never be forgotten. His story of perseverance, strength, and triumph over adversity continues to inspire people around the world. George Foreman was more than just a boxer. He was an icon, a hero to many. Fans all over the world remember him not only for his incredible skills in the ring, but also for his warm, good-natured personality. People admired his strength, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Boxing legends like Mike Tyson paid tribute to George, calling him one of the greatest to ever step foot in the ring. Even the Ring magazine, which is often called the Bible of boxing, described him as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. People will always remember George Foreman as a fighter, a champion, and a man who changed the world in many ways. Celebrities, athletes, and everyday people all share stories of how George inspired them. His story wasn't just about boxing. It was about overcoming obstacles and making a difference. He showed the world that no matter where you come from, you can achieve greatness if you work hard and stay true to yourself. George Foreman's impact on culture and society is huge. He was more than just a boxer. He was a role model, a preacher, and a businessman who changed the way people saw athletes. He showed that an athlete's career doesn't have to end when the fighting does. He proved that life after sports can be just as successful, if not more, with the right mindset and vision. The George Foreman Grill revolutionized the way people cooked. It made healthy eating easier for families all over the world. Today, the grill is a staple in many kitchens, and its popularity shows just how much of an influence George had, not only in sports, but also in everyday life. Through his faith and his work as a preacher, George touched many lives. His message of discipline, conviction, and protecting his family's legacy resonated with people everywhere. His church, built in Houston, continues to serve the community, showing just how far George's influence stretched. George's ability to turn his defeats and victories, both in the ring and in life, shows us all that it's never too late to come back and achieve greatness. Whether it was his boxing career, his role as a preacher, or his entrepreneurial success, George Foreman remains a shining example of what it means to live life with purpose and passion. Which moments from George Foreman's incredible journey inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories of legendary icons. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.